Book title: Balance in the Storm: How to Overcome Difficulties and Succeed. Author Vahid Zekavati. Copyright NLP Radio. Dear friends, before starting the book, please pay attention to this important note. This book is narrated by artificial intelligence. Due to some limitations in this system, there may be pronunciation errors in the words. We apologize for any mistakes. Also, the written version of the book is available on the NLP Radio website, www.nlpradio.org. Introduction. Imagine that you are standing in the middle of a violent storm. The wind is blowing with unimaginable force. The ground is shaking under your feet, and you may fall at any moment. But at this very moment, something inside you is holding you tight, something beyond your body and the strength of your arms. That thing is balance. Not just physical balance, but balance that is rooted within you, in your thoughts, feelings, and in your view of the world. Life is nothing but a battlefield where only those who can maintain their balance in the most difficult circumstances win. Maybe you have felt many times in difficult moments that you are on the verge of falling, that problems like raging waves pull you in all directions. But what is the secret of salvation? Why are some people not only not destroyed in the same critical situations, but come out stronger than ever? This book takes you on a journey where the veil is removed from one of the biggest secrets of success, peace, and power in life. A journey where you learn how to be pillars of strength in the midst of storms. You will learn how to make your mind resistant to the onslaught of negative thoughts, anxieties, and fears, and how to find an inner strength that no obstacle can knock you down. You will not be the only reader in this book. This book is a magic that draws you inside yourself to the darkest and most unknown corners of your mind. And right there, where few dare to enter, it shows you the golden key to success. This book is what you've always been looking for, but maybe you didn't know what it was called. Are you ready to discover the secret of balance? Are you ready to find out why some people get stronger with every blow they take, while others fall apart at the slightest push? If you are ready, turn the pages of this book now. A warning: once you start reading, you can't put it down. This book will awaken something in you that will never let you live like before. A question that will change your life. In the dark of the night, a rider who had a long experience in riding a horse found himself in the middle of a violent storm. The strong winds were howling, the rain was pounding the ground, and the path ahead was hard to see. For a moment, his horse's feet slipped on a slippery surface. He could panic, lose his balance, and fall. But his mind was focused on something more important than fear. He had to keep his balance. Only this one decision separated life and death. He did not think about the storm, nor about the danger, nor about the fear that was swirling in his heart. He thought of only one thing: how can I keep my balance? This simple question changed his fate. He did not fall. He overcame his fear. He was able to survive that difficult night, not because the storm was weak, but because he focused on what was really important. But why is this principle meaningless to many people? Why in the storms of life, many people leave themselves to the winds of events and become victims, while others, right in the midst of the most severe crises, find a way to victory? Life is nothing but an endless battlefield. In this arena, those who don't know what to focus on have lost the game from the start. Look around you for a moment. How many people do you see who are lost in the whirlpool of problems, disappointed, tired, disappointed, and defeated? How many people do you know who had big dreams yesterday, but today are only a shadow of what they were? And on the opposite point, there are people who, at the height of difficulty, something burns inside them, a light that doesn't go out, a strength that pushes them forward, a will that doesn't break even under the weight of the heaviest failures. These people know something that others do not. They have discovered a simple secret. The question you ask yourself determines the direction of your life. We all ask ourselves questions in difficult moments, but most of these questions make us weaker. Why did this happen to me? Why is the world so cruel? Why do I have no luck? Why does nothing go right? These questions only plunge you into the mire of problems. But minds that win ask other questions. How can I get through this crisis? How can I use this situation for my own growth? How can I become stronger than before? A person who asks himself the right question will change his life. Whoever asks the wrong question will experience more failures. Imagine that someone is heavily in debt. He can ask himself, why am I always unlucky? Why do I never have enough money? Why is the situation so bad? These questions will plunge him into a negative cycle. But if the same person asks, how can I generate more income? How can I use my skills to transform my life? How can I get out of this financial crisis? Instead of focusing on the problem, his mind will focus on the solution. Life is just like riding a horse through a storm. If you focus on the strong winds and the slippery road, you will lose your balance and fall. But if you focus on what is in your control, if you ask a question that clears the way for you, the storm cannot defeat you. Now think to yourself for a moment. What is the question you ask yourself in the most difficult situations? Do your questions make you weaker or stronger? Do the questions you ask yourself every day bring you closer to a solution or sink you further into despair? If you want to change your life, change the question you ask yourself. This is the simple secret that all successful people have discovered in their lives. The secret of balance in the midst of adversity. Your mind is the biggest battlefield you have ever seen. Every day, every hour, every moment, there is a battle going on in it. Sometimes it is calm, but sometimes, like a stormy sea, violent waves of fear, anxiety, and despair hit it. Why does the mind act this way in difficult situations? Why do you suddenly feel weak at a moment when you need strength, courage, and decision more than ever? Why does your mind paralyze you just when you should be moving? You are not alone. Every human has experienced this. But the important question is there a way to control the mind and maintain balance in the midst of adversity? Your brain naturally thinks about survival. When faced with a challenge, the brain's first reaction is to find a way to avoid the danger. If he feels threatened, he has two options: fight or flee. But the problem is that the mind cannot always tell the difference between a real threat and a mental illusion. When you're faced with a big problem, your brain may see it as a critical threat, when in reality, it's just a challenge. That is why you often feel fear, anxiety, and despair in difficult situations. But this is just a mind game. If you can understand this game, you can change it to your advantage. Let me tell you a story. Imagine a man who once lost his entire life. His work, his capital, even his closest loved ones. He wandered the streets for days, his heart full of questions. Why did this happen to me? Why is life so cruel? How can I go on? His mind was engulfed in darkness. He saw no way out. But one day, while he was sitting on a park bench, an old man sat next to him. The old man smiled and said, "Do you know the secret of balance in the storm? It's about learning how to ride with the wind instead of fighting it." The man looked at him. The old man continued, "You are now like a person standing in the middle of a storm and shouting why the wind is blowing. But the storm is not listening to you. The only way is to find balance within yourself. When you have balance, you will not collapse even in the most difficult situations." The man was silent for a moment. The sentence he heard echoed in his mind. He realized that up until that moment, his entire focus had been on something that was out of his control. He had thought about the problems, the failures, the things he had lost. But he had never asked himself, what should be done now? That day was the turning point of his life. He began to change his attitude. Instead of focusing on the problem, he looked for solutions. Little by little, his life changed. Today, he is not only successful again, but he also shares this secret with others. A balanced mind does not collapse in any storm. The secret of balance is concentration. What is your focus on? Problems? Difficulties? Things that are out of your control? If the answer is yes, then no wonder you feel weak. The mind acts like a magnifying glass. Everything you focus on seems bigger. If you focus on problems, you will see them as bigger than they are. But if you focus on solutions, your mind will start to find paths that you didn't pay attention to before. Concentration is the key to balance. Wherever your attention goes, that's where your energy flows. But how can this balance be maintained? How to control the mind in the most difficult moments? The answer lies in techniques that train the mind. NLP techniques are one of the most effective tools that can program a mind. One of these techniques is the technique of changing the mental frame. The next time you are faced with a problem, ask yourself, if I see this problem as an opportunity, what will happen? This simple question can lead your mind from despair to finding a solution. Mental exercises are also very important. One of these exercises is mental imagery. Imagine that you are standing in the middle of a storm. Strong winds blow around you, but you feel balanced. Nothing can shake you. You stand firm like a mountain. Repeat this image over and over in your mind. Your mind believes what it sees many times. If you repeatedly see yourself collapsing, your brain will accept this image as reality. But if you repeatedly see yourself standing up and winning, it will become your reality. And finally, hypnotic phrases have tremendous power to maintain inner balance. Every day, repeat these sentences to yourself. I am calm and balanced in any situation. Nothing can derail me. My focus is only on solutions, not problems. I'm steadfast like a mountain in the midst of a storm. These phrases will be engraved in your subconscious mind over time. And when your subconscious believes in something, it will make it come true. Now it's your turn. Are you ready to change your focus? Are you ready to find true balance in the midst of adversity? If your answer is yes, then from this moment, a new path has begun in your life. Practical solutions to maintain balance and success. Life is always going on. The moments that take you to the top and the moments that plunge you into darkness. But the secret of success is not to run away from difficulties or to always look for quiet moments. The secret of success is to be able to control your mind in any situation. Stand in the middle of the storm and keep going. But how? How can you stay calm in the most difficult moments? How can you empty your mind of fear and anxiety and fill its place with focus and strength? How can you keep going instead of giving up? The solution is here. Right in front of you, take a deep breath, listen to the words, engrave them in your mind. You are entering a new world. A world where you are the ruler of your own mind and feelings. A world where nothing can divert you from your path. A world where every problem is an opportunity. And now is the time to learn this skill. Every day when you wake up, your mind is like a field ready for cultivation. Whatever thoughts you put into it, you will reap the same. If you start your day with negative thoughts, worry, and anxiety, you will spend the whole day in this state. But if you learn to control your mind from the moment you open your eyes, nothing can stop you from your path. What is the solution? The first step is to start your day with powerful words. Sentences that program your subconscious mind. Sentences that lead you to calmness, concentration, and success. Right now, repeat these sentences in your mind. I have control over my mind. Nothing can stop me. I am strong. Say these sentences every morning, loudly with confidence, and then watch how your whole day changes. But only sentences are not enough. You need to practice. Just like a muscle that gets stronger with exercise, your mind also needs exercise. The next solution is to devote time to mental exercises every day. For example, one of the best exercises is to sit for 5 minutes every day, close your eyes, and focus only on your breath. Whatever thought comes, let it pass, like a cloud that moves in the sky. This will calm your mind and make you feel less stressed and anxious during the day. But you shouldn't just wait for peace to come to you. You have to learn to create it. For example, whenever you feel that your mind is full of worries, just stop for a moment. Look at what is around you. Focus on one color, one sound, one object. This will make your mind return to the present moment and distance itself from negative thoughts. The next solution is to ask yourself every time you face a challenge, what can I do? Many people, when faced with problems, focus all their attention on the problem itself. But your mind is like a flashlight. Wherever you put its light, it will illuminate that place. If you shine that light on problems, they will seem bigger and scarier. But if you shed its light on the solutions, the path will be clear for you. So every time you feel that you are in a difficult situation, instead of asking yourself, why did this happen to me? Ask yourself, how can I solve this problem? This simple change in the question you ask yourself can change your entire life. Now, take a deep breath. Listen to your mind. You are becoming a new person. A person who does not break in the face of difficulties. A person who knows how to keep calm no matter how difficult the situation is. A person who can control his mind. And this is the skill that will distinguish you from others. But to make this skill a permanent habit, you need to practice. You need to use it every day. So right now, from this moment, do these exercises. Start every morning with positive words. During the day, whenever you feel stressed, come back to the present moment. And every time you face a problem, change your focus from the problem to the solution. And then you will see how your whole life will change. Conclusion. Now that you've reached the end of this book, take a moment to step back and look at the journey you've been on. You weren't just a singer. In every page, in every sentence, in every word, you started a journey inside yourself. You have entered a realm that you may have never stepped into. Where the deep secrets of your mind, feelings, and hidden abilities are revealed. This book was not just a collection of words. This book was a map. A plan to get rid of the messes, confusions, and failures that you have experienced until today. A plan to achieve balance, peace, and success. But is this enough? Can reading these lines alone change your life? The answer is clear. Well, only when you apply these concepts in your life, you will see great changes. In first part, you faced a truth that you may have never seen from this angle. The story of that writer who had to maintain his balance in a critical situation was more than a simple story. This was a metaphor for your life. Like him, you are going on an unknown path. The storms of life challenge you. Some surrender, some resist. But the main difference between successful and unsuccessful lies in one thing: the ability to maintain balance. In this chapter, we asked why some people grow stronger under the most difficult circumstances, while others fall. You will discover the answer to this question in the rest of the book. Second part. It took you deeper into the human mind and psychology. We explored why the mind chooses fear, anxiety, and despair in the face of adversity. How can it be controlled? How can you ride the waves of life instead of giving in? In this chapter, you learn that focus is the key. As you saw in the second story, the people who achieved great success were the ones who were able to keep their minds balanced in the worst situations. You realize that the mind acts like a flashlight. Wherever you shine it, it will light up there. If you focus on the problems will get bigger. But if you focus on solutions, the path will be clear for you. In the third part, it was no longer time for theory. Here you learned practical solutions. You know that mind control, like any other skill, takes practice. You learn how to start your day with powerful words, how to clear your mind of anxiety, how to quickly recover your balance in difficult moments, how to ask yourself instead of drowning in problems, what can I do? This small change in mindset will change your world. But the purpose of this book was not only to give you techniques for maintaining balance. The purpose of this book was to show you a great truth. You have more control over your life than you think. You are the creator of your own destiny at every moment. You decide how you respond to life. You choose to be the victim or the ruler of your mind and emotions. If you just read this book and put it away, nothing will change. But if you do even one of these exercises every day, if you remember the lessons of this book every time you face a challenge, if you can empty your mind of anxiety even for a moment and reach peace, then I can tell you that this book has fulfilled its mission. Life is what you make of it. You have the power to stay balanced in the midst of the most difficult situations. You have the power to build a bridge to success from failures. You have the power to stand firm against the storms of life. Now the choice is yours. Do you discard these learnings and return to the same old patterns? Or from this moment, you decide to implement these principles in your life? You are the creator of your life in every moment. Every choice, every thought, every reaction of yours creates your future. Now that you have finished this book, you are no longer the same person you were at the beginning of this journey. Now you have more awareness. Now you have a tool in your hand that can change your life. Now is the time to act. It's time to turn knowledge into power. It's time to be the creator of your own destiny.